I'm going where the cold.
You there, Casey? I'm back.
Hey, tourist. Did you discover anything?
I found Kenneth.
You did? Is he still alive?
He wasn't gonna make it. He begged me to put him out of his misery. So I did.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you did what was right. Tourist. Shit. Rest in peace, Kenny. My friend. What did he tell you?
For a guy with only a few breaths left in him, Kenneth had a lot to say, Casey.
Like what?
He told me about the massacre outside the bunker, and that Foster, Trent, and Jess deserve payback for their role in it. Any thoughts on all this you'd like to share?
Well, if he told you what happened, why do you need to hear it from me? You know what you need to know, right? And you've told me my friend is dead, so we can move on, yeah?
I know it must be hard, Casey, to talk about it. But it's okay. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, you're right, tourist. It's not easy for me. There was a massacre. 3 dozen people, at least. Civilians. Right at the reserve entrance. Innocent people that we should have been protecting. I should have done something to stop it, but I didn't. I stood there, a coward. And now I don't sleep. I have a nervous twitch in my right hand that gets more pronounced every day, and the guilt is like a 10-ton weight crushing my chest. There, you satisfied now?
Those are just facts, Casey. I already know the facts. What I need to know is your perspective on the whole thing. There's a reason why you can't sleep. You're twitching like a junkie and your chest feels like it's caving in.
Okay, quit badgering me, please. I'll talk. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. It's all fucking foggy. The whole thing escalated really fast. The first bullet was Foster. I wanted to scream no, but it's like it just left my body. Everything after that moment, it's like a nightmare. Jess and Trent started firing. Jess, she was smiling. Kenneth hesitated. He looked right through me, like he expected me to have his back. But I did nothing. So he started firing. After that, all I've been able to retain are weird details. Oh, the sounds. A hat. A cross. Man, sometimes when I'm here lying, trying to sleep, I can actually feel my fingers shaking on the trigger of my rifle, even though I haven't touched the thing since the day it happened.
A cross? Like in a church? What's that all about?
Yeah. It's fucking strange, tourist. I see it. Real close up. Everything around it is hazy. Bullets chewing it up. Splintering the wood. It's from my church back home. The one my mom used to drag me to. You know, but that makes no sense. Well, it's just my mind fucking with me. Guilt digging in deep, I guess. Fearing judgment.
What do you hear when the sounds come?
The sound of terror. Please. The gunfire. My own shouts. The thump of bodies hitting the floor. This cacophony will just swell up inside my head when I least expect it. This chaos. But I can still pick out every single fucking sound. I just can't shake it.
What do you hear when the sounds come? You mentioned a hat. What hat?
There was this old man, shielding his wife. He had on this bright blue fishing hat, and I watched a flurry of bullets rip it right off in this spray of blood and skull. And this fucking hat, I swear to God, it's the exact same hat my uncle used to wear. And the bullets drove it into the wall, and it hung there for a second, dripping. And then it flopped onto the floor. The image, I can't get it out of my head. I'm worried it'll be there forever. And I keep thinking, was it me? Did I shoot those bullets?
You'll never know for sure, Casey.
That's exactly right, tourist. And I can't fucking deal with that.
Listen to me, Casey. Carefully. What happened outside the bunker, it's not your fault. That is clear to me. It was clear to Kenneth. You need to find a way to make it clear to yourself.
Yeah, I know. You're right, tourist. But it's not easy. Gonna take a lot of fucking work. Hey, maybe when this is all over, I can hire you to be my therapist.
I charge $300 an hour. Don't think you can afford that on National Guard money.
Yeah, probably not. Look, tourist, this little chat, it's worn me the fuck out. And I've got rewiring to do to keep from getting electrocuted next time I use this radio. Not that it really fucking matters. Doubtful I'm getting out of here alive. Without that key that has everyone riled up, this is all a waste of time. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later, I guess.
Don't hang around too.
Who's there? People don't be pleased when I waste you. These things keep coming.
Fuck you, corpse!
Nothing better to do?
Keep quiet.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Weird idea. What if you kept a walker as a pet? Think that's possible?
Quit poking around.
You ever hear that governor guy?
As long as
Fucker
I'm
was
fed
a
and
psychopath.
safe, I don't give a shit
Glad
about
someone
tower
took his ass out.
politics.
shit now.
Out for a stroll?
That's the tourist? Doesn't look so tough.
Scanning the area.
Walker! Brain it! Who's sneaking around?
I think it's wise to leave them around.
Nothing better to do?
My dear New Orleans, I had the most wondrous day. I stood outside the tower barricade, alone, gazing up at the monolith of oppression as silent flames crawled greedily up its concrete sides and black smoke choked the sky. I approached the barricade and it crumbled into dust before me. And in the tower yard, reclaimed warriors stood, with torches in hand, proud and defiant. Their masks alive, dark, swirling oceans of endless power. Throughout the yard were statues of fearful human forms molded from ash. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the statues were our enemies. Defeated. Left vulnerable, even to the slightest touch, a soft breeze or a light rain. And in a blink, the flames and the statues were gone, and the sky a clear and cloudless blue. Lush gardens stretched for as far as the eye could see, and where the ashen forms of the earth towered, glorious sculptures of reclaimed heroes carved from marble and bronze now stood. The tower itself transformed from a gray and lifeless symbol of despair into a vibrant canvas full of life. Every inch of the exterior covered in
All patrols, return to the tower after 1800 herd stir through the Narrow. Reserve assault prep begins ASAP. 3 to 10 days. Hope for 10. We need fucking time. Reserve strike immediate when Loke is known. Any day, it seems. During prep, patrol sweeps reduced to only once per day, and only through the southern bump and northwest corridor. Reserve assault troops will move through there. With reserve secured and tick infected removed, should have all routes clear in 3 weeks. Back to business.
But
Re-tick infected. Let's still develop it. Currently at 50. We'll be hot.
Casey, you there? Casey, you there? Casey, you there? Casey, you there? Casey, you there?
Hey, tourist. The intel you've been gathering for me has been enlightening to say the least. Georgia is planning on a mass exile in the very near future. Many lives are going to be at risk. I have a few things to discuss with you. I know we were going to try to avoid the face-to-face, but the plan I'm formulating warrants it. Would appreciate your ear. Meet me in the same spot as the first time, Churchyard. Thanks for all you're doing. May. Hey, tourist. I'll get right to the point. After looking over the intel you brought me, seems like Georgia is planning to toss out a large number of people real soon. A lot of lives are going to be in jeopardy. Good news is we have some hope. The map you scored shows a safe way out of NOLA. Just need to buy some time and some space to organize exiles on a large scale, get them ready to move. I think the reserve is going to provide the opening I need. Georgia and the Tower are so obsessed with it, don't think they'll be concerned with what I'm doing for a short while. And with the Reclaim salivating over it too, once the reserve is unlocked and revealed to the world, courtesy of you, there's gonna be a bloodbath. You can count on that. And that's when I make my move. Window won't be open long, though. It'll be tight, but I gotta take the chance.
I don't know, May. Sounds risky. Trying to get that many people out at once without Georgia noticing. You've seen the posters everywhere. She's trying to turn the whole city against you. Maybe you should just get out with Umbra while you have the chance.
You can't be serious. After all the work my daughter and I have put in to make this dream a reality, you think I should turn my back on the people I've been working so hard to help? No. I'm all in, tourist. I appreciate your concern, but we are going to uphold our promise to these people. Do or die. I will leave the key to the reserve in the drop spot for you. Lantern will be on when it's there. When the shit goes down for the reserve, if you're thinking it's all too much and you want out, come find us. The Exodus could use someone with your particular set of talents. My hope is you won't be a fool, but my mind suspects you'll be too hooked on that damn reserve pipe dream just like everybody else. All I can do is wish you good luck and good judgment, tourist. Take care of yourself.
Casey, good news.
Good news? Hell, tourist. I would classify that as fucking outstanding news. No, look, I don't want to jinx it, but... No, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Best not to risk the jinx. Let's just forge ahead. One step at a time. Okay, so, the part to repair the final pump. Gosh, I don't have much to go on. It's weird. There's been really faint chatter about it on a few channels, and nothing but static for months. There's an outpost called Bastion, set up in a heavily defended duplex home. Barricades and optimal sightlines. The Reclaimed currently control it. Now, the place has been a hotbed of conflict between Tower and Reclaimed for a while. From what I'm hearing, that's where it is, so be ready for a shitstorm. Good luck, and hey, keep your head on a swivel.
You made it. I didn't doubt that you would, of course, but my patience was beginning to be tested. Let's start with a formal introduction. You are the tourist, and I am Jean-Baptiste. JB. There now, we can proceed to matters of more profound consequence. It is my understanding that this gizmo here would be of use to you. it's all yours. Consider it a gift. And when we are finished with our conversation, I will provide you with the missing dial that you'll need to operate it. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Terrific. Now, I prefer to play it straight. Once I received word that you were collecting these devices, and to what purpose, I saw an opportunity to connect with the city's most illustrious survivor and have a chat about the reserve. So I made it a priority to acquire one, through various means I will not divulge. And now here you are. It is my hope when I am through, you will see the reserve for what it is. Nothing more than a crutch, holding back the people of this fine city from regaining themselves.
You've piqued my interest. Go on.
I am a firm believer in the greatness of humankind, our ingenuity, our art, our towering scientific achievements. This reserve nonsense, even if the rumors about what may be inside it exceed our wildest dreams, the bounty will only prolong our addiction to survivalism as the only path in life. It will stifle our creativity. It will eventually lead to our withering doom. Now, this is the proposal that I have for you. Continue your search for the reserve, and when you unearth it, which I have the utmost confidence you will, destroy it. These 4 numbers will disable the entire flood contingency system. Mother Nature will rage through the reserve and take care of the rest. 1006. Flood the reserve and set us all free. Give this still glorious city the jump start it needs to refocus on something much grander than mere survival. Grant us hope, tourist, and thank you, most sincerely, for hearing me out. And let's keep this chat between us, if that's all right. I'm not sure my comrades would see the big picture benefits of removing the reserve from the equation. The floor's now yours, my friend. Anything on your mind that requires clarity?
I'm curious about the Reclaimed.
Yes?
What's with the gory rituals?
First one was a man I knew well in my brief tenure as a tower grunt. I'd even called him a friend. Tripp was his name. Snuck up on me in the middle of sleep. Tried to slit my throat. Still carry the scar. Well, long story short, Tripp was no match for me. I maimed him. Something awful, really. And I dragged his body about a mile all the way to the southern bump, which at the time was the most highly trafficked exit from the tower. I found an old oak, hung him upside down from it so his lifeblood would spill rapidly into the soil, and upon his chest I pinned a note that read, "Keep 'em coming." And just like that, I became the most feared boogeyman Nola has seen since the Axeman. Once I had fear on my side, the rest just blossomed naturally. Those with nowhere else to go wanted what I had, so they listened. And they learned. I empowered them. That's all people want. A sense that their lives still have some meaning.
The Reclaimed have made quite a mark on the city. How did the movement get started?
After my exile from the tower for insubordination, I took to raiding their supply lines. Rather efficiently, I might add. No one ever got hurt, and other exiles clamored to join my operations. Needless to say, Mama and her cohorts were not pleased with my exploits, and they sent several communications asking me to cease my pillaging or there'd be consequences. But it wasn't until the tower started...
I have some other questions for you, JB. I've heard enough.
Fair enough. Then we're finished here. The dial, as promised. Godspeed, tourist.
wandering around.
Finally meet, tourist. After all the hype, you're not exactly what I expected. Thought you'd be more put together, bit more danger to your presence.
Sorry to disappoint, lady. Good thing I'm not too concerned about what you think of me.
You should be, fool. Your life may depend on it. I'm Georgia. Maybe you heard of me, maybe not. I could give two shits. What does concern me is the man inside the building you just stepped out of. The time has come to silence him once and for all. Cut off the head that won't shut up. Rest of the reclaimed fools will fall back in line. Then us tower folk can get back to doing what's right, without all the noise.
From what I know about JB, it may take more than you and a couple of goons to take him down.
You a real smart-ass, tourist. I fucking love smart-asses. Especially when I've snipped the tongues out of their smart-ass mouths. But I'm willing to give you a pass on your smart-ass ways. Just this once. I'm gonna offer you an opportunity to be a hero. You game?
I'm game for anything, as long as the offer suits me. What do you want from me?
Quit fucking with me, fool. You know what I want. March back up into that house and kill JB. Prove you are worth more to the tower than the cockroach you've been so far. And in return, all your fucked up transgressions will be forgiven. If you happen to find yourself in the midst of our onslaught on the reserve, tower troops will have your back. You have my word.
I take no issue with killing JB. Consider it done.
No nonsense. I dig it, tourist. I'll let you get to the deed. We'll be waiting, right here. But don't keep us waiting too long. My patience has a limit.
Out for a stroll? Think it's wise to be wandering around?
You've returned. To what do I owe the pleasure, tourist?
Tower troops are outside. They want you dead. I suggest you get out of here.
Well, look at you, tourist. Choosing sides. I suppose that's a good sign regarding our previous conversation. For a rogue spirit, you certainly have proven pivotal in the fight for the soul of this godforsaken and still glorious city. I have no designs on escape. I plan to march right out of this house, gun drawn, and send a message. If you feel like joining me, I suggest you keep up. When it comes to violence, I am decisive and swift. Get out of my face.
Out for a stroll?
Nothing better to do?
You must...
You made it.
Sounds fair.
Terrific. I prefer to...
You've piqued my interest.
I am a firm... 1006. And let's keep this chat between...
I've heard enough.
Fair enough. Then we're finished here. The Tao, as promised. Godspeed.
We finally meet.
I've heard they
tourists.
even have entertainment there. Concerts.
Sorry to
sports
disappoint,
games.
lady.
You should be, fool. I'm Georgia. Maybe
From what I know about J...
you are real smart. I'm gonna offer you an opportunity.
I'm game for anything.
Quit fucking.
I take no issue with killing JB. Consider it done.
No, no.
You've returned.
Tower troops are outside. They want you dead. I suggest you get out of here.
Well, look at you, tourist. Choosing sides. I suppose that's a good sign regarding our previous conversation. For a rogue spirit, you certainly have proven pivotal in the fight for the soul of this godforsaken and still glorious city. I have no designs on escape. I plan to march right out of this house, gun drawn, and send a message. If you feel like joining me, I suggest you keep up. When it comes to violence, I am decisive and swift. Collaborate well, tourist. Together we might have been able to handle twice as many tower goons. I had forgotten how much I enjoy the thrill of a brawl. Been a while. Thanks for reminding me. And now I must bid you farewell. I have a new broadcast to prepare, hearts and minds to ignite. Perhaps you may even get a special mention. But please, do me one last favor. Keep our earlier discussion in mind when the moment arrives for you to decide the fate of the reserve. 1006. The 4 numbers that will set this city free.
My dear Georgia, we have gone too far. This has to stop. We are not cruel. No matter what our community is facing right now, we have to remember our promise to the people. I understand the need to pivot when faced with a crisis, Georgia. Those responsible for the atrocities that led to the disease were brought to justice. We have to put the lessons we learned from all that tick business behind us. When I first learned that those animals were serving human flesh to our most desperate, simply to meet hunting quotas, I was enraged. But as difficult as it may be, I had to pivot. I had to try and understand the desperation that drove them to hunt human beings. Maybe our scavenging quarters were a misstep. Yes, punishment was warranted. But we cannot allow those horrors to color all the choices we make moving forward. We must help people, not abandon them. I have been changing course and making difficult decisions a majority of my life. We can figure this out. We can get this community back on the right track. I may be a bit compromised these days, but my mind is as sharp as ever. You need to be patient. And you need to trust me. You know, I have always thought of you as the daughter.
I'm